Hey everybody, this is Pete Bartolozzi welcoming you to another Nuggets, Gems, and Pearls from God's Word. Today's gem is entitled The Light of God's Face, Part 2. And we're going to be looking at Psalm 89:15 again, as we did in Part 1. It says, "Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of your countenance." The psalmist begins to declare in the latter half of this verse what happenings in our favor that this shout affects. It says, "They shall walk." They who? They who have come to know this victorious, triumphant shout as of the sounding of the trumpets that we talked about in part 1. They shall walk in the light of God's countenance. What is the light of God's countenance? To see what the light of God's countenance is, let's take a look at an experience that Moses had, that most of us, if not all of us, are familiar with, recorded in Exodus 33, verses 18 through 23. "And he, Moses, said, I beseech you, show me your glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you, and I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious. I will show mercy upon whom I will show mercy." And he said, "You cannot see my face. For there shall no man see me and live." And the Lord said, "Behold, there is a place by me, and you shall stand upon a rock. And it come to pass, while my glory passes by, I will put you in the cleft of the rock, and will cover you with my hand as I pass by. And I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen." We see here Moses beseeching God if he could behold his glory. In his answer, God said, "I will place you in the cleft of a rock, and I will put my hand over you. And as I pass by, I will pass by, and after I pass by, I'll remove my hand, and you shall see my backside," as though only seeing the afterglow of God's glory. But then he said in verse 20, "You cannot see my face." In fact, he twice said in this account, "You cannot see my face." From this experience of Moses, we see that not only does his glory shine forth from his being, but that the greatest brilliancy of his glory shines forth from his face, because of him emphasizing to Moses that he would not be allowed to see his face. And from this, it says that Israel couldn't look upon Moses' face because the skin of his face illuminated so much because of this experience that he had to put a veil over his face because they couldn't look upon his face for the shining of it. The Hebrew word for face here is the same Hebrew word translated countenance in verse 15 of Psalm 89. In Psalm 89:15, then, could be expressed in this way: the happenings of life turn out to the favor of those who come to know this divine, victorious, triumphant shout as of the sounding of the trumpets, because they are the ones who will walk in the greatest brilliancy of the glory that shines out of God's face. And I offer this as something to think about today. Be blessed.